Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing another movie review for you all. This movie is a horror film from Canada, English language, released in the year 2024, directed by Chris Nash, and this film is called In a Violent Nature. So In a Violent Nature is about a pendant that is stolen from a burial site of a man who died tragically many years previous by a group of friends. They believe that no one owned it, so they're taking it, but now they've resurrected the body of this man, and he's hell-bent on inflicting as much pain as possible for those unlucky enough to cross his path on his way to get that pendant back. So whether or not he does is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on In a Violent Nature. This has to be one of the strangest experiences I've had in a very long time, because I was really torn in two. There were parts in this movie I absolutely loved, and there were parts that I thought really let it down. But I admired the director so much because of the fact he's trying something new. And this is an example of, horror not being dead, because there are directors out there who have enough confidence in themselves to really throw the cat amongst the pigeons in something that is a very much loved subgenre of the slasher film, but also it's a very generic and run down recycled subgenre. So you've seen one, you've seen them all, but a director comes along who dares to be different, and this movie takes the perspective of the killer. And so I thought that was completely different. Yes, it does have that standard, the killer's picking off all these victims, but telling it from a different side, I thought as though that really, it was something that proved very different, and it's an indication that directors aren't afraid to actually make something of their own. And so Chris Nash demonstrates a lot of, bravery and a lot of confidence in himself to produce a film that you hadn't seen before within a very tired subgenre of the slasher. It's Friday the 13th and Halloween. They really set the template as far as the slasher is concerned, and everyone's really recycling that same old thing. It's all about the kills, it's all about the villain. Whereas this movie, yes, it does have those kills and the villain, but as I said, it's taking it completely different, and it's telling the story in a very different way, in a very ballsy way. And some of those risks that the director takes, they don't quite work, but I admire the fact that he tried them. So if you are a slasher fan, go out there and see this film. This is a movie that's going to divide opinion, so you might hate it or you might love it, but as I said, at least it's trying something new, at least it's trying something creative, and that's what I loved about this film the most. It's a very beautiful film to look at on the outside. The scenery, it's very, very well shot, and we follow the killer for most of the film. And I thought as though there were real captivating qualities about the way that this movie used its sound. I thought the sound had a hypnotic quality about it, and so when you're following this killer just walking, there's no soundtrack, and so it's all about what you're hearing through nature, and I thought as though that nature really captivated me in a hypnotic way. I should have been bored, a lot more bored than I was, but I just couldn't help but feel the sound effects really seeping into my brain and just keeping me glued to the screen as to what was going to happen next. And so that was very, very good, and I thought it was really intelligently done. You have some of the most gnarly, horrible deaths that I've seen in a very, very long time. I can't remember a movie this nasty. This is a film that has practical effects, and so if you are a fan of the old-fashioned style of horror, the stuff that's not lazy, then this film will definitely get to you. The creativity in the kills I thought was absolutely second to none. There's a kill involving something to do with yoga that I was absolutely horrified to see. There was another death scene that was very slow and drawn out, and I just thought as though it was really, really uncomfortable. So the therapeutic violence in this slasher film wasn't really there. I just thought as though it was horrifying. And so that's something that captured me on a different level again. You have Friday the 13th and Halloween. They're therapeutic kills. You want to see these people die horribly, but in this movie, the horrible deaths just capture you in a way that just makes you feel repulsed. And that's exactly what a true horror film should do. And In a Violent Nature definitely achieves that. It's just by how slow, how painful, and how drawn out these death scenes are. Even the most extreme horror fan is going to really appreciate the lengths that Chris Nash really pushes the boundaries of decency. This is a film that sticks its middle finger up at the PC crowd, and it's making it for genuine horror fans. And so if you are sick of movies that don't take risks, that turn the camera away just as someone's dying, then this movie is going to really appeal to you, because you see every detail, and you're not necessarily basking in all the depravity. You're actually shying away, or at least I was. I thought there were some scenes that really hit me in a way that I just felt sick, and that's something I hadn't felt in a very long time, and that's another thing that I really, really appreciated about In a Violent Nature. The movie does have a story. It doesn't really rely on the story. It's definitely an art house kind of film where it's just following this guy. The sound effects are playing a big part in hypnotizing you to keep watching, and the kills, as I said, very practical, very, very well done. It's a very competently made film. But unfortunately, with every experimental sort of film, art house film, there are going to be negatives, and the negatives is that after a while, the film does start to run out of steam. the novelty of following this killer around and just watching him walk slowly, yes, it is hypnotic, but that the hypnotizing sort of qualities to it begin to wear off at the end, and I thought as though it outstayed its welcome to some degree. And so that was an issue I had with the film, but as I said, I have to applaud the fact that this director took a risk. The director was trying something different within a much loved subgenre, and it's an indication that horror is not dead, because there are directors like Chris Ness out there who are willing to do something different, put their neck on the line. If it doesn't work, then so be it, but at least they gave it a go, and at least it shows a lot of confidence. And so as a result of that, I want to give In a Violent Nature 3 stars. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.